Hi folks, we're back today with another video and we're going to be looking at this, the Grandstand compact TV game with a 4-sport selector. That's right, you can play any of these games to your heart's content. Football, tennis, squash, practice? Who knows? Regular viewers of the channel will know that from time to time I struggle with the lights being above us and it casting a bit of a shadow. Trying to negate that today by using this sort of super bright LED light that I've got. I know you can't see it, but I'm pointing to it anyway. It's cast a little bit of glare on the box, but hopefully you can live with that. And eventually, I keep saying this, eventually one day I'm going to get this all sorted. But here we are. So for those of you that don't know about these things, these little sort of all-in-one machines, they were around towards the end of the 70s and into the 80s. I don't know exactly what year this is. It says Match of the Day 2000. I can assure you it didn't come out in the year 2000. And maybe I'll put a ping with a little bit of information in the post edit. Probably should have done my research first, but again, here we are. So in the cave, I've got a couple of these. But I spotted this one online on eBay. Actually, last summer, I've been sitting on this for about 8 months now. I think I picked this up for about £4. It was listed as spares and repairs, and I'll show you why in a minute. It certainly is. It's not in the best of nick, but yeah, I spotted this. It's the inbox, if I'm honest, that got me. I thought, you know what, it's complete inbox. I've got to have it, and I've got to at least see if I can try and bring this back to life. Because if I don't, and if no one else buys it, it's going in the bin, which is really sad. So yeah, there we are. So yeah, the box is, it's a little bit tatty around the edges, but this thing's 40 years old nearly. I'm tatty around the edges. I suspect this is actually the original bubble wrap. Which also doubles as a tension sheet for Red Dwarf fans out there. Yeah, anyway. So in the box, this is essentially all you get. You get the box itself. Just bring that camera down a little bit without disturbing the LED light too much. There we go. How does that look? It's not too bad. Yeah, it's an all-in-one thing with the controllers built in, say controller, very basic controllers, sort of a twisted array, sort of like a pair of robotic boobs almost on the front of this, where you can to control the paddles and the games. Like we say, we've got tennis, hockey, squash. Hang on a second. Oh my goodness. Classic example of my khaki-handedness there. Box, football, tennis, squash. Tennis, hockey, squash. No sign of football. Picture on the box, tennis, hockey, squash. Where football? Où est la foot? Anyway, so you get the idea. It's going to be some sort of Pong type game. Let's see if I can adjust that light ever so slightly just to make it a little bit better. I'll try and get rid of that shadow slightly. It's going to be some kind of Pong derivative made up to look like tennis, hockey, squash, or practice. We can change the size of the bat, the speed, some sort of angle, and whether we're manually serving or service is an auto, and that's it. That's all we're getting. So why spares and repairs, I hear you cry? Well, if we flick it over, in the battery chamber, we can see it's absolutely done. It is gone in there. Batteries have been left in there. Lord only knows what type of batteries they were. Uranium or something by the looks of it. They've completely corroded and they've just destroyed everything in there. When I opened it up originally off camera just to take a little look at it, a couple of bits just dropped out. So I don't know what it's going to look like on the inside. I've not delved that far yet. Our saving grace is it's got a power socket on the back, which is going to allow us to plug in an external power supply, which, you know, even if we can't get it running with the batteries, you know, replacing this and soldering some new things in, we may be able to power this thing externally. And looking at the size of this compartment, it's not deep enough to take the D or the C batteries. It doesn't actually say on the box, but we can figure out if we just drop a couple in, squeeze them in. It looks like we're going to be, I know the orientation isn't quite right, but it looks like we're going to be having 6 of these in. So 6 of the 1.5 batteries by my maths gives us 9 volts. And it just so happens that if you've seen my Atari repair video, although I don't know in what order I'll launch these videos, so hey, it may not even have been launched yet. But I did an Atari repair video recently, and I've got a 9 volt adapter to hand. We just need to figure out whether we're going to be center positive or center negative. But we can try and figure all that out once we get it open. And I think that's probably where we should start. So luckily, it's only the 4 screws to take it apart. It's not too bad. No hidden screws, or it certainly doesn't look like there's any hidden screws behind labels and stuff. So I guess perhaps they didn't mind people taking these to bits. In the times of those forgotten eras, yonks ago, and any other time period you can think of. That one will drop out by itself. So yeah, just 4 crosshead screws keeping us out of this thing. There's one. Are you coming out? You're not coming out, are you? There's always one that doesn't want to come out to play. That will be done. There we go. Okay, let's put you to one side. Is this just going to lift off? Yep, okay, we're just going to lift. Oh, okay. Right, so spoiler alert, these should be, wow, that's just completely I wonder if someone's been in here before. Just decided to cut that, or maybe it's just snapped, who knows. And then we've got this, should sit on there. So that would give us the power. Let's just get rid of you for now. So yeah, that would have given us the power. Also, why would power from an external to recharge? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so let's have a look. So we've got a center positive jack plug. This isn't plugged in, by the way. I'm just popping it in. And if we just pop the multimeter on continuity. Yep, so the center's going to positive. I'm going to assume this is positive because it looks like this would be an ideal spot for grounding, wouldn't it? If I just peek that out a little bit. Yeah. So this bit of the barrel is going to be negative, and then the front is going to be positive. So actually, we could just go all in. This thing's semi broke anyway. It doesn't look like, no, there's no power LED on the front, so we're not going to know visually if there's any power going to it without it plugging it in. But the presence of this massive speaker on the front makes me think that some sound comes from this. Now, there's a couple of other ones that are similar to this that I've got in the cave, like I said, and they kick out their own sound as well. So, do you know what? Let's just be a bit gung-ho, shall we? Let's be a bit maverick. Let's just plug it in and see what happens. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying this isn't a repair guide, okay? This is, let's see what happens when I do something, and if it goes wrong, you can avoid doing it, okay? I'm by no means sanctioning this. You do this at your own risk. So, see what happens. Sadly, nothing. I thought we might have got some sort of noise. Oh. Oh, that sounds good. So it's obviously doing something. Can I hazard a guess that something's bouncing around? Who knows? Well, pleasantly surprised with that. At least we know that when power comes in from the jack, from the yak to the board, it powers up. So that's the first problem solved. I guess the thing that we need to do now is get it tuned in to good old channel 36. Is that 5% tolerance? For 5 channels either way. We can go up to 41 or down to 31. Let's see if we can get it tuned in and see if we can get a picture, and then we'll know our next steps from there. Okay, so off we go. Let's see what we see. Okay, so positive in the fact that we can get it tuned into channel 36 and we can get something on the screen. The thing on your screens right now is a big flashing light, which I'm sure you don't appreciate. But we need to get that picture looking better. Yeah, if we want this to be usable at all, we could do with getting that picture looking better, couldn't we? It didn't look very good. Also, what I'd quite like to do is get these out and replaced with some sort of termini that's going to allow us to plug batteries in. Because again, that looks manky, and we don't want any mankiness, do we? So I think what I might do is just have a little play around with this, just 5 minutes, just to see if we can get these out. And I thought I'd try and replace them with, you know, the generic battery connectors that you can now get for Game Boys and stuff. Pop a couple of those in. Maybe, you know, we might have to solder some wire between them. But we can always glue some in and try and make it work, can't we? Ugh, what is that even, mate? It's like a... I don't even know. That's not going to stand the test of time, is it? Let's get that off. So yeah, it looks like these were just glued in and just connecting from the other side. So we can figure that out, can't we? We can get some connectors in. I do feel a little bit bad about snapping those off, but we'll just super glue some in. Where are my flush cutters? There are my flush cutters. Oh, hello. Sort of best part of 40 years of crud built up in there. Right, I'm going to nip off camera, I think, and just give that a bit of a scrub out Yeah, back in a minute. Okay, so I just went and gave it a bit of a scrub. With the scrubbing brush, which got the majority of the grim stuff out. And just going to use good old IPA just to get the last bits out. But to be fair, the rest of it was pretty clean, and what is left is just mainly those bits where those sticky uppy bits, technical term for you there viewers, sticky uppy bits resided. I think we could go down a proper rabbit hole there, couldn't we, cleanly? It's not too bad. I'm not going to go crazy on it. So now we've got now I've got those bits out. Oh, there's a nice bit. Nice bit of brown. Now I've got those bits out. I think I'm going to leave that for now and come back to that in a little while, because I need to dig out some of those Game Boy connections that I was on about. And I think what I'm going to have to do is, because it's 3 batteries, put something in, maybe saw one in half, solder them together. We'll figure something out. It won't be too difficult, and then we can glue them in, and that will resemble something that was close to the original. And like I said, having those batteries isn't the be all and end all, but it would be nice to think that, you know, if you did want to have it in a portable fashion, that it's possible. Quick tea break, folks. No bagging today. I've decided to take the bag out. Right, so let's turn our attention now to this board. That video signal was quite frankly awful. And as I've said before, my knowledge of electronical engineering is minimal at best. So anything I do is literally going to be suck it and see. Not sure if that's an appropriate analogy, but I don't know. If there's any capacitors on there, we can start by replacing them, because that's a nice and easy thing to do. And you know, everyone replaces capacitors and it makes everything better. It's what we do, isn't it, with retro stuff. Yeah, so let's have a look, shall we? So let's try and take this board off. Oh, okay, that comes off. Put you there. Does that come out now? Comes out a little easier. Yep. Okay, right, so we've got this. Let's get you out. What else is... Okay. That's holding us down. Need to remember which way round some of these things go, so that we can put it back together later. Okay, we've got the speaker, which looks like it's held in place. This is going to be a bit of a faff, isn't it? Okay, I think I might need to get the iron and unsolder a couple of these bits. Let me get my iron. Okay, so we're just gonna very carefully just heat up some of the solder around this speaker joint.
Can't forget Seth. Sorry.
And I'll just take off the other one. So we should. Not sure if you can hear my dog pattering around or not. Not sure if you can hear his little paws on the wooden floor. He likes to come and make his presence known when I'm filming. Okay, so we've got the ground as well. Okay, I'll tell you what, in for a penny, look. Let's get the ground off, because then we can fully work on the board. And we've got is that it? We're free. I mean, at some point we'll have to reattach that, but that can just stay there for now, can't it? What else have we got? Okay, we've got the controllers, but there's enough, I'm not sure if you can see or not, but there's enough wire, there's enough flex on these controllers that it's not going to interfere. We can put these right out of the way, so we can get rid of that. I'm going to unplug the iron and get that out. Get the iron out of the way, and I won't accidentally burn myself. Right, so what have we got? Well, these are the contacts here for whatever buttons they were, the auto serve, manual serve. We've got the game selector, which worked fine. I've got some resistors, some capacitors. Is that a transistor? I think, does that do something with the power? I'm 100% sure. Then we've got our ROM chip. Or is that a video chip? Again, no, I think it's just a ROM chip. And then all this voodoo here is to do with the video, the RF modulator and stuff. That must be a CPU, because it needs a CPU, doesn't it? It needs something, and it ain't anywhere else. That's interesting, just to see what it says on it. I mean, I don't know loads about, as I said, electrical engineering, but that's a Z831, and I've heard of a Zilog. It's not a Z8. Oh no, that's probably two different things. Probably many different things, and unrelated whatsoever. So I'm not even going to speculate there. But I tell you what I will do. In the post edit, I'm going to do a, where's my finger? Ping! And we'll say what that is. I'm also going to leave that bit of tape there, I think. I was just curious. Although that's not going to stick down, is it? But I can always stick that down myself later. So I guess what we could do is start by, I'd say, replacing this capacitor here, but there's lots of, is that glue or is that, I don't even know what that is. What's this funky stuff? I've heard of like capacitors leaking, but I don't think that's that. But you know, maybe we could replace that capacitor and that one. Probably not these ones because I don't have any of those. So these are 100 microfarad. So 100 microfarad, 10 volt. Let's go and see what's in the box. Okay, so I've been and checked in the box, and we do have. I'm just double checking. So we've got. So they don't even use the what I would call a UF lettering for microfarad. It literally says MFD, which I can only assume is microfarad, and then 10 volts. And again, I know this is not a tutorial or anything like that, but I've been told and I've seen and I've known from past experience that providing you've got a voltage which is above the voltage on there, then you're going to be fine. Okay, I don't know what tolerance there is on things like that, so don't take that for gospel, but again, just what I've been told. So we've got the iron warmed back up, and I probably should get my helping hand, but I'm being a bit lazy, so hopefully we can get if I just sort of didn't want to do that. Just need a bit of purchase. There we go, it's coming. Probably a lot easier with solder suckers and various expensive kit, which I don't have. Also appreciate that I've just been doing that off camera. Apologies. Didn't see. So anyway, let's just try again. We'll just get. Do you know what? Let's just use fingers. And we're free. So I want to clean up this area because I've absolutely no idea what that stuff is, but I don't really want to be working in or around it. So we're just gonna. Please leave me a comment if you've got any idea what this stuff is. It's got sort of a waxiness to it. I'm only going to sort of clean so far up. I mean, would it just be flux? Would that just have sort of been dumped on there in droves and then left on there? Well, I thought flux was supposed to corrode over time. But either way. Okay, so we had the negative pointing downwards, so hopefully we're going to have negative there. So just tip up a little bit. This waxy stuff is absolutely everywhere. think we've got a good connection there. Yeah, and we'll just trim away with the flush cutters, and I'm just going to hold, because I don't want them flying off. There's one. Two. So I think what we'll do now, in for a penny, in for a pound, is we'll take off this second capacitor. Again, apologies. I've moved the camera around and I keep forgetting where it is. Where's this? See the leg of that capacitor? Oh, that's in a nice place. Okay. Okay, there's just been a bit of a pain. Nearly there. There we go. Okay. And it's negative to that side. We've not got anything to clean up this time, although I think I will just use a bit of solder braid just to pull that solder away, then we can put some clean on. Just helps us find the hole a little bit easier, for want of a better phrase. There we go, look, the hole has revealed itself to us. Okay. And apparently I've used all my solder braid. Okay, so we had negative down to that end. Where's my other capacitor? Where's he gone? There he is. There's a bit of a gap here as well, so the legs were bent slightly. Oh, I've got a bit of... There we go. A bit of a solder ball in there. Sorry, again, terrible. So we're just going to want to get that through as much as possible. And then we'll come in with the solder, with the iron. And I've not got any clue, folks, if this will make any difference to that video signal or not, but I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? So I'm going to trim these legs off. I'm going to have a bit of a clear up around here because this work area is an absolute mess. It's an absolute bomb site. I need to resolder the power, don't I, and the ground, and then we'll just go from there. So yeah, back in a little while. Yeah, so we can see that changing those caps didn't improve anything whatsoever, did it? Sadly, you know, it was a it was a bit of a long shot, but it was one that worth trying. Was worth trying. I think realistically, with this, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that video signal. I'm certainly not, anyway, with my level of knowledge. Try and get this back on camera a little bit. It's, you know, I can hazard a guess that all the sort of video, you know, the RF modulation and stuff like that is done in this area, but I simply don't have the skill set to figure out what is going on. I did a little bit of reading, and this chip is known as the Pong chip, this AY38500, and each of these pins, you know, relates to a different game, or the score displayed on screen, the character that's displayed on screen, etc. And somebody, a couple of people that are infinitely cleverer than me, have figured out a way of taking the data from the relevant pins, so perhaps the one for the score, the one for the character, for want of a better phrase, the one for the actual video signal, and sort of merging them all together in an RGB with a SCART, and one with a phono. So who knows? Perhaps in the fullness of time, I'll come back to this and have another little look at it and see. But for now, I think this one's dead in the water for me. At least we've got it working, or at least we know it works to an extent. Maybe it's the tuner on my TV. I don't know. Maybe I'll dig the old little portable CRT out the loft and plug that in and see if it's any better. I doubt it will be, because you know, the tuner on this hasn't let me down when I've been tuning things like NES and Master Systems and things like that. But the other thing I did, which you might have just sort of spotted, is that I've sort of Frankensteined a few Game Boy battery contacts together. I've glued them in, soldered a couple of them together relatively roughly, but there is continuity there, and this will allow the 6 1.5 volt batteries to be connected. So, you know, at least we've sort of achieved the dream of getting all that rusted gunk out and putting some new ones in. But yeah, like I say, it's all a little bit of fun, isn't it? That's what it's for. And if you have enjoyed this video, then that's fantastic. That's good enough for us. If you wanted to drop a like or a subscription or a comment, then be my guest. If you can offer me any advice about you know, what might be going on here, what I could change to you know, better that signal. If you've got any ideas what this gunk here is, I'd be more than willing to you know, read those comments. But yeah, it's going to be a bye for now. It's a bye from the dog if you just heard him off in the distance. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now. Hi folks. Yeah, I thought this one was done as well, but apparently not. So what I don't know, a slight oversight when Heath Robinsonning together some of these what do you call it, battery connections. What I actually managed to do was for some reason decided to solder them all together on both sides, which basically just created this never-ending loop of power. So rather than have 9 volts going off into the positive and the same going down into the negative, it was just shorted out basically. Luckily I realized that well, I plugged it in, realised that nothing was happening, and thought, hang on a second, gave the batteries a little touch, and they were really, really warm. They were starting to get really warm really quickly. So, so yeah, so I thought I'd sort the problem out off camera. It's a bit of a bodge, but it does the job. The only problem is now sometimes these batteries don't stay where they're supposed to, but luckily we can get that lid on, and you'll see, look, we've got no external power supply. Where is it? There it is, look. And that should stay down. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Yeah, so nothing happened there, as if by magic. We've now got get my microphone a bit closer to that. So yeah, there we go. We've got the. I'm just going to turn this off. We've got it working now with the battery power properly. But like I said earlier on, perhaps I'll readdress the video signal another time. But for now, this one is definitely going back in the box and it's going to bed. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this little post credit scene and all that. And yeah, take care. See you soon. Bye bye.